This video I am going to discuss relations. What is a relation? If A and B are two non-empty sets, then a relation R from A to B, it will be a subset of A cross B. Okay? R will be a relation from A to B if R is a subset of A cross B. Let us see one example. Suppose A is a set having the elements 1, 2 and B, P, Q, R and R. So, what is R? It is given that 1P, 1Q and 2R. So, we can see all these three elements are the elements of A cross B. So, R is a subset of A cross B. That is why we can say that R is a relation from A to B. You see, the element 1P, it is in R. So, it can be written as 1RP. But you see, the element 2Q, it is not in R. Okay? That means the element 2 of the set A is not related with the element Q of B by this relation R. But you see 1P, that means the element 1 of the set A is related with the element P of B by the relation R. Okay? Here A is the domain set and B is known as codomain. Now, inverse of a relation. What is inverse relation? If xy is an order pair of the relation R, then yx, the reverse order pair, will be the elements of inverse of that particular relation. Suppose the set A is ABC and set B 3, 6, 9 and the relation R, it is A3, B6 and C9. Then what is the inverse of this R? Of this relation? These ordered pair, all these ordered pair will be reversed. That will be 3A, 6B, 9C. Now the types of the relation. At first, empty relation or void relation. As you know, phi, it is the subset of all sets. So phi is the empty relation having no element. Universal relation. A relation R will be universal relation on a non-empty set A if R is equal to A cross A. As you know, A cross A, it is also a subset of A cross A. So, if the relation R is equal to A cross A, that is also a subset of A cross A, ultimately it will be a relation, and that type of relations are known as universal relation. Okay. Next, identity relation. If A is a non-empty set, then IA, it is symbolically the identity relation is symbolically represented as IA. This IA will be a identity relation if IA consists of the elements XX for all X belongs to A. Let us see one example. Suppose A is equal to 1, 2, 3. The set A has the elements 1, 2 and 3. Then in the identity relation there will be only three elements, that's are 1, 1, 2, 2 and 3, 3. No other elements like 1, 2 or 2, 3 will be there in this relation. They will not present. Only 1, 1, 2, 2 and 3, 3 will be the elements of this identity relation. Suppose 2, 2 or 3, 3 is omitted there, then also it will not be a identity relation. All the ordered pair of those corresponding elements, that's are 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3 will must have to be present in that relation, then only we can say that it is a identity relation. A relation R is said to be a reflexive relation on a non-empty set A if for all A belongs to capital A, the order pair A comma A belongs to R. Let us see one example. Suppose the non-empty set, it is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Then 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3 and 4, 4, 4, all these 4 elements must lie in that relation to say that it is a reflexive relation. You see, in this relation R1, there are 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3 and 4, 4. So, it is a reflexive. No need to see the other elements what are there. But in this R2, you see 1, 1, 2, 2 and 4, 4 are there, but the element 3, 3 is not present in R2. So, it is not a reflexive relation. Okay. Next, symmetric relation. What is symmetric relation? R is said to be a symmetric relation on a non-empty set A if the order pair xy belongs to R, then the reverse order pair, that is yx, also must belongs to R to say that R is symmetric. Let us see also one example. Here the set A, non-empty set A is 1, 2, 3. And you see here in this given relation R1, 1, 1, the reverse of 1, 1 also 1, 1 present in it. 1, 2, the reverse of it, it is 2, 1 is lie in this relation. 1, 3, the reverse of it, 3, 1, it is also lying in this relation. So, ultimately R1 is symmetric. But in R2, the reverse of 1, 3, you see 3, 1, it is lying in this relation. The reverse of 2, 3 also 3, 2. Similarly, the reverse of 3, 2, it is 2, 3. But the reverse of 1, 2, you see, the 2, 1 is not present here. For this 2, 1, it is not a symmetric relation. Relation R on a non-empty set A is said to be antisymmetric relation if AB belongs to R and BA belongs to R, imply that A is equal to B. Let us see one example. Suppose a relation R is defined on the set of natural number, it will be a antisymmetric relation if it is defined as xy belongs to R when x divides y, where x and y are natural number. That means suppose 3 divides 6, but 6 it not divides 3. So, if 3 divides 3 and its reverse also 3 divides 3, ultimately xy and yx both are belongs to R. Ultimately, we can say that x equal to y, that means it will be a antisymmetric relation. Okay. Now, transitive relation. A relation R on a non-empty set A is said to be transitive if AB belongs to R and BC belongs to R, imply that AC belongs to R. Let us see one example. The set A, it is of the elements 1, 2 and 3, then the relation R1, it is defined 1, 2, 2, 1. You see, eliminating this last element with this first element, as these two are common, ultimately it will be 1, 1, that is also belongs to this set. Again, the last element of this element and the first of this one, if we eliminate these two, ultimately 2, 2, that is also in this set, in this relation. So, ultimately R1 is transitive, but you see R2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, it is not transitive. Why? 2, 1 belongs to R2 and 1, 2 belongs to R2. Eliminating these two, 1, AB belongs to R. According to the definition, you see AB belongs to R and BC belongs to R. So, eliminating these two B, AC must belongs to R. You see, eliminating these two 1, so 2, 2 must belongs to R2, but 2, 2 is not present in this R2, so it is not a transitive relation. A relation on a non-empty set A is said to be an equivalence relation if it is reflexive, symmetric as well as transitive, then we can say it is an equivalence relation.